Good evening, everyone. We are here tonight with Coach Regan, Rianne Sheffy, and Logan King. We'll start with a statement from Coach, and then we'll take questions.
Thanks, Chelsea. Another crowd over 1,000. So awesome to have Long Beach Nation behind us. We talk about it, but it really just means so much to us as a group to have the fans, the community here. So it's not over. We've got senior night tomorrow with Davis. It's going to be a great one. And then we are hosting the Big West tournament Thanksgiving week. So matches on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So keep showing up. It means a ton. I want to thank Riverside. You know, obviously it was a tough match for them, but they're a great team, and we wish them the best.
Coach, obviously no game's a must-win until you're in the bracket play, but coming off of those two losses and then obviously having Davis tomorrow, how important did this win feel?
Very important. We talk a lot about, you know, one day at a time and playing each point and not looking ahead, and that is how we live today. And it was something really important to us that during the week we focused on both teams, not just Davis. So we talked a lot about, like, it's one match at a time, and that feels incredibly important. More important than that is how we played. We talk a lot about playing Long Beach volleyball, and that includes doing the small things, the controllables, the communication, the overpasses, things like that. So I thought we did a good job of that.
And also you've let some of those Big West teams kind of linger along in the middle, but today I believe that second set was your highest margin of victory in a set. How important was it specifically to play your Long Beach volleyball from start to finish today?
Yeah, very important. We talk about throwing the first punch and closing the door, and I thought we did that really well. Even in that second set, you know, there were some points that we wanted back, and it's easy to get compliant in that kind of environment. And for us, just staying on the pedal and making sure the standard is still there was really important. So, yeah, across the board, I thought we did a great job of that.
And lastly, Rianne, you started the match with 8 kills and 8-9 hitting in the first set. When did you know that this was kind of your night, and what was it like to contribute both on offense and on the block?
Yeah, I feel like at first I wasn't really aware of, like, how many kills I was getting. I think I was just out there, and I was just having fun. And I think that, like, the support of my teammates really helps me to feel, like, freed up and, like, have that fun. And I think we were just out there with the mentality of, like, we're just gonna ball out. Like, we're just playing with each other, and, like, you know, vibes are good. And yeah, I just think that for me, it's just we're just out there having fun and playing around. Yeah.
For Logan, we've talked about your hitting all year long, but can we talk about your serving? Even though no service aces, you've been able to really put a lot of service pressure on other teams throughout the year. Can you talk about kind of how your serve has developed throughout this season?
I think my serve is kind of unique with the toss that I do, and so sometimes I struggle. Like in practice, I sometimes struggle to find a happy medium of putting on pressure and not, you know, managing the mistakes. And I definitely felt that in kind of the past couple of games. I was trying to find my groove with my serving. But, you know, I've been getting extra reps and trying to just clean it up a bit, and I think that it kind of showed a little bit in this match, so that's nice to see.
For Rianne, can I first ask why the number change tonight?
Yeah. So found out about 6 minutes before the game was going to start that I did not have my jersey. But I think I was a little stressed going into hitting lines. So I was like, ooh, what am I? It was one of those things where it's like a random thing that could, like, have set me off. But I think I just took a couple deep breaths. Natalie, I went up to her. I said, hey, I don't have my jersey. And she was like, you know what? Just get a kill for me. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. But, yeah, I will be back tomorrow in my regular number. But, yeah.
And speaking of tomorrow, senior night, can you kind of elaborate on how this season has been for you and your career as a whole?
Yeah, it's definitely been a very special season for me. I think at first I was really connected with, like, our teams in the past, and I was really used to kind of the flow of being, I guess, like, an underclassman and kind of, like, having someone to like look up to and kind of like be the role model, and kind of stepping into that at first was a little difficult, but I just feel like the team makes it so easy to like lead. Like they're just a group that like you want to be there for and like want to show up for every day, and I definitely like feel like them working so hard, like it's this give and take that I didn't really like know about before. I was just kind of like, okay, here's our older girls, and like I see them like being so like put together for the team, but understanding that like there's days where like I'm having a rough day and like Logan will talk to me, or like, you know, like Maddie Collins will talk to me. Like we just have that sort of like dynamic where we can all communicate with each other, and it's just made this year so special, and I've gotten so close to all of these girls, and it's definitely going to be difficult like to move on past, you know, this season and this I guess like this identity, but I know that I have such a good group and I have so much support around me, and I love them all very much. So, yeah.
So obviously the game plan clearly was executed very well tonight. What were some focal points in practice coming off last weekend to improve and go out there and perform like you guys did tonight?
Yeah, we refocused on serve and pass. That was a really big key for us from the weekend. And there were some other offensive things that were pretty individualistic, but really it was just small changes. It wasn't like we're going to redefine our system or anything. We trust this group a lot, and we trust our play. And when we're playing well, it's hard to stop. So a lot of that is within our control. And leaving the weekend last weekend, it was very much within our side. So we felt like that was things for us to clean up and not necessarily like systematic changes. So it was a lot of the same, as boring as that sounds. But that's how you win points. That's how you win games. That's how you stack wins. So just getting back to our system and our routine.
And 3 different players, including the 2 of you, with double-digit kills tonight. Do you think that your attack is best when it's being spread around like that? And is that something that was another goal to go in tonight and really spread the love on offense?
Yeah, absolutely. It's at our best. It's easy to say that and talk about offense, but really it comes back to passing and defense and being able to run a balanced offense, because if you're not in those situations, you can't. So I think that goes back a step further to our block and D and our passing.
Coach Izzy Mahaffey ties her season high with 15 digs tonight. What can you say about her role in this team and how she's grown throughout the season?
Oh my gosh, her growth is so awesome to see. You know, she's a 4-time national champion at the club level in the highest division, and she's a stud. And, you know, we had a lot of true freshmen that graduated early and came and trained with us in the spring, and unfortunately she wasn't able to do that. So it almost felt like she was behind when she came in at the beginning of the year, even though that's where most freshmen start. But watching her like really hit her stride and come into her own at the end of the season is really big. We've challenged her a little bit to step into some bigger roles and be a little bit louder in some situations. I thought she did a great job of that this week in particular.
Nice. And then reactions from the table, Milani Lee with the match ending ace and a few big digs in the point before. What were your reactions to that? It was really loud on the bench.
Milani's serve is a nightmare to pass in practice. So it was so nice to see her like just do what she does in practice, which is like just pound people with serves. And digs, it's like, yeah, like that's amazing, and that's like Milani, you know, like she in practice she's doing that. So it's so nice to see her be able to do that on the court.
Yeah, she definitely has what we call like a sleeper serve. Like you're not expecting it at all. She steps all the way back there and then sends the most lethal ball across the net. And it makes me grateful that I'm not back there passing it. But yeah, she's just such a hard worker, and she's just such a sweet person, and it's so amazing to watch her go in there and get that ace. Like, I was screaming so loud. I'm so happy for her.
And then, Coach, how do you keep this momentum and energy translate into Friday, which is going to be an emotional senior night?
Yeah, emotional senior night. Well, we'll trigger most emotions after the match, so that'll help. But momentum-wise, we get some sleep, we wake up, we do it all over again. There's going to be some potential head on a swivel tomorrow, so how we handle that will be really important. But it really is just resetting. And we talk about that in transition, and we talk about that in the process, but being able to do that from night to night against a really, really difficult opponent in our home court is going to be really important. But I know, the emotions are going to be high, and we talk a lot about how to manage that and some tools for that. And so I really do trust our group to be able to manage that, but it's going to be really exciting.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you.